Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing well today. My 90cm aquarium is looking lovely, as you can see. It's absolutely beautiful. Just had a fresh water change. But today is going to be about planting the ADA 60p that you see in front of you. So this was scaped about a month, maybe 2 months ago. I only just got around to doing it. As you can see, the plants are actually floating inside the aquarium. I had my order come through a couple of days ago, and I didn't want to risk, keeping the plants around the house. Especially with these potted plants, just put them in the water, filled up the aquarium, and ran the filter. So look at the flow that we got on top of here. So I'm actually running the Awase Biomaster 350. To be honest with you, I didn't think it'd be this much flow. Normally, if you look at Green Aqua and some of the boys down there, they actually run a Awase 600 on their 60p, and this is only the 350, but it's absolute rapids, but I love it. If you guys know me from my previous videos or any sort of aquariums that I've made in the past, I love having a lot of flow. It's very important to me. And also, it's just cool, just to look at it. But we're going to start by taking the plants out, and I will be going through some of the plants that we're using in today's build video. I'm actually waiting for a couple more to turn up, so I'm hoping by the end of the video they would have turned up already. If not, then obviously the next couple of days I'll be putting them back in, and I can do a slight little update if you guys are interested. But yeah, I'm very excited to do this. It's going to be a bit more of a minimalistic sort of classic style, a little bit different from what I'm used to. As you guys know, I plant very, very heavy. And I am going to do the same in this, but it's going to be a bit more sporadic, just around in certain areas and keep it very minimalistic. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really, really cool. But I am running the Skylight Hyperbar 60. If you're interested to know what light this is, absolute stunning light. I had the 90 version of this on my big tank before I put the Hyper Spot on, but it's a very nice light. Got great renditions of green. I really like it. And look at these little lily pipes, right? These are 12mm, very, very tiny, really diddy. And I really thought it would actually reduce the flow going inside the aquarium, but it's absolutely rapids. I love it. So I'm hoping I can get some good visuals of the tank, what it looks like at the end of the video. But I will be continuing my daily water changes for the next week, maybe even 2. But bearing in mind, I am using the Seachem Purigen in the filter, and it takes about sort of 4, 5, maybe even 6 days to get crystal clear. But yeah, I cannot wait to plant this one, and definitely give me some recommendations for any nano fish that you've got. A 60cm aquarium, I guess it's kind of a nano tank, but I'm not really clued up to really when it comes to nano fish. So if you've got any recommendations, definitely drop me a comment down below. I'm thinking tiger barbs, but I think they might be a little bit too big for this setup, but maybe 6. It might look nice. But any recommendations, drop me a comment down below, and let's get planting. So first up, let's start off with the background plants. I've chosen Cyperus helferi for the back corner. This is a long grass type plant, and I positioned it just below the outlet of the lily pipe. That way that it will give a beautiful sway from left to right, creating a dynamic and natural effect. After that, I'm going to be moving on and creating a nice gradient by introducing smaller, thinner grasses. Next, I'll be adding Eleocharis montevidensis, and the midground plant transitions beautifully between the taller background grasses and the foreground. So, one of my last few plants to arrive unfortunately hasn't turned up yet, but I'll be completing the back with adding Eleocharis, the normal regular hairgrass. This is slightly taller than the dwarf version and also continues like the grassy riverbed theme. But to add some variety, I'm actually going to add some Juncus repens for the time being, in between the grasses, just for that extra bit of texture. For the sides, I'm going to be adding Cryptocoryne Flamingo, if that's pronounced right. I don't know. But under highlighting, this plant can develop a deep red or even a pinkish hue. But I'm hoping to add a more muted brown to contrast with the green. So let's hope that this flamingo can go a bit more brown. But just in front of that, I'm going to add the smallest crypt, and it's very slow growing. Actually has a very huge bonus actually, because if you have multiple tanks, having low maintenance plants actually means less trimming. But it's Cryptocoryne Parva. I love this plant. I always use it all the time, to be honest with you. Very, very nice plant, and it's a great contrast between the flamingo and the green of the Parva. So now let's talk about the ferns. Initially, I wasn't sure whether I wanted to add any ferns or just leave the wood bare, but I knew I wanted to include some small Anubias and Bucephalandra, but I was a little bit hesitant about using Bolbitis, but I'm glad I decided to use just the one pot of Bolbitis. Its delicate shape really does complement the Riverbed theme without overpowering the Hardscape, but I'm definitely going to try and keep this maintained and a little bit cut back, because Bolbitis is a bit of a brute, you know, especially under highlighting. It can kind of overtake your tank a little bit, so I definitely got to be mindful of that, because I really want to keep this wood on show because it's such a beautiful piece. So I've got to shout out my little helper. One of my good friends and his son dropped past. I let him help out with some planting, but you know, if the layout looks a little bit wonky, you know who to blame. I'm just kidding. It was so much fun to have a little helper. By the way, he came over, really wanted a pet snake, telling me all about it, but you know what? I think I might have convinced him to get a fish tank instead. We'll see. I've decided to add a tiger lotus, which is actually a form of a lily, which is going to be down the middle for a nice hint of colour. I'm actually going to be growing this as an epiphyte plant, which effectively means putting the bulb inside a crevice of the bit of wood, and it's going to allow it to grow as an epiphyte and float up to the top of the surface, especially when it hits that lovely lily pipe, and you know, continues to flow, especially with the Cyperus helferi. But to fill in the gaps, I'm using Cryptocoryne Parva and some more mini hairgrass, which will tie in everything together beautifully. After filling up the aquarium, I realised the Juncus repens on the right hand side didn't really fit, so I've decided to remove it. But later I added some Hydrocotyle verticillata. This mushroom-like plant creates a lovely effect, planted throughout the sand and leading up to the path to the back right. But if you stick around to the end of the video, you'll see how this looks, and it's definitely worth it. And also I'll be adding some more Eleocharis, taller hairgrass on the right hand side to be more in balance with the left hand side. And there we have it, my ADA 60p Riverbed style aquarium. I'm thrilled how the Titan boulders and the Wio silver shadow gravel turned out. The plants will take a little bit of time to grow in, but I can already imagine how lush and vibrant this setup's going to look. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more aquascaping adventures. I'll see you next time.